we would have spoken a little bit about a reset in November, continuing to grow as individuals. I know my game hasn't been where I want it to be, so that'll be at the forefront of my mind. But yeah, equally you want that evolution to be channeled towards a better performance and lead to results. Being a part of these big tournaments, like, it really is close to the pinnacle of Test rugby, aside from the World Cup. So there's massive excitement about being back in camp. It's a tournament that we all love, and yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in next Thursday. You know yourself, you're used to playing with clubs 3 or 4 games in a row quite a bit, so obviously stakes are a little bit higher in Six Nations, but in terms of our bodies and our minds, we're adjusted well. I'm just off the back of 3 in a row there, so a little bit more emphasis on physical and mental recovery.
Well, our next captain is coming in. We can actually ask this question. We've been asking all the captains, Caelan Doris. Score a match-winning try at the Aviva, get a choice of any song to come on. What would it be? He's gone for Shallow from Star Is Born.
John Cena's walkout song.
Would it?
That one, yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't. Yeah.
I like that one.
And then you do the whole "you can't see me" kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, we're getting there.
Six Nations captaincy, psychology degree. I just want to talk about the pressures of it, and especially now in the condensed format, how different that might feel from a leadership point of view.
Yeah, I think in some ways we're fortunate that we start on a Thursday, so we've got a 9-10 day turnaround to the following one. Then it's only 7 day, and then we've got the down week. So, I mean, you know yourself, you're used to playing with clubs 3 or 4 games in a row quite a bit. So obviously stakes are a little bit higher in Six Nations, but in terms of our bodies and our minds, we're adjusted well. I'm just off the back of 3 in a row there, so a little bit more emphasis on physical and mental recovery. Faz has been in rugby environments since he was a teenager for so long, so he understands that very well. He understands the needs and the kind of emotional desires of the group as well, so he'll manage that well, I'm sure.
We've just been speaking to Antoine Dupont, who had that horrible injury that kept him out of a lot of rugby in 2025, and just the kind of extra motivation that comes when you miss stuff. You yourself missed the Lions, which could well have been captain, would have been a huge part of your career. Does that then get you? How do you react to that mentally in terms of trying to refresh, trying to remotivate yourself and go, right, let's almost treat this now as a new chapter in your career?
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to make the most of the injury period, trying to come back a better player. There's so many aspects you can go after even during an injury period, but then psychologically it makes you appreciate it much more when you're fit and healthy and being a part of these big tournaments. Like, it really is close to the pinnacle of Test rugby, aside from the World Cup. So there's massive excitement about being back in camp. It's a tournament that we all love, and yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in next Thursday.
The phrase that Andy used with us a couple of days ago was, you're now the hunters, not the hunted. In the past, everyone's been gunning for Ireland because you've been champs, you've been Grand Slam winners, you've been in wicked form. Slightly different dynamic. Does that change much internally, or just for us to talk about on the outside?
Yeah, I don't think it changes too much internally. I think at the core is still a lot of belief based on the personnel we have, the coaches we have, the plans we have. There's also an awareness, obviously, that results-wise in November, plus performances-wise, it wasn't where we want it to be. There's an awareness that there's a lot of hard work that needs to go in order to change that and keep things moving in the right trajectory, but there's willingness to do that and excitement about doing it.
And when you start off at a place like Paris, it's not a soft start, is it? It's the opposite. It's the toughest start you can have in the Six Nations. Do you sort of lean into a bit what you did 2 years ago? I know that was in Marseille, but you went into a bear pit as the underdogs, got a great result. So you've got a history as a team of going somewhere like France and doing the business? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, we've started pretty well over the last number of years. England last year, France, as you mentioned, the year before, Wales the year before away. So, you do lean on that, definitely. But again, it's a new year, a new challenge. So, slightly different group too. So, it's just about maximising each meeting, each walkthrough, each training session to prepare ourselves as best as possible.
Does it feel very different this year, Caelan, to previous years in the Six Nations with, I suppose, like you said, you've come in for a number of years red-hot favourites. Does that change the feeling internally? Not really.
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't actually been in camp yet. I flew over here yesterday, so I'm looking forward to joining the boys in Portugal later on. But I don't think it will. I mean, regardless of what the outside perception is, it's genuinely what's on the inside that we care about, really. So, and like I say, at the centre of that is still a lot of belief, so we'll chase that down.
Yeah, and when it comes to sort of shutting out the outside noise, there's always so much chat around Irish rugby. There's a huge committed fan base. You've got a really, engaged rugby media, which is great for the sport. But in terms of things like, your fly halves, you've got some quality options, but there's always a bit of chatter about that. How would you, as captain, kind of work with these guys? 1 minute they might be picked, 1 minute they might be on the bench, and just sort of making everyone feel really, part of it.
Yeah, I think it's about getting an arm around them, understanding, regardless of who's selected in the 23, that everyone plays a key role, and that what's most important is the team's performance. So driving things in the right direction, regardless of whether you get the opportunity to represent the group on the matchday squad. So we're fortunate that we've got a good bunch of lads, and they are team first in their decision making and how they show up. So you need both the competitiveness in order to drive standards and keep things moving forward, but equally you need a bit of selflessness and team first mentality.
And would you hope to get out the Six Nations? I mean, winning it obviously, but in terms of where you want the team to be in 2 months' time?
Yeah, like the evolution. We would have spoken a little bit about a reset in November, continuing to grow as individuals. I know my game hasn't been where I wanted to be, so that'll be at the forefront of my mind. But yeah, equally you want that evolution to be channeled towards a better performance and lead to results. So it's a results-driven game at the end of the day, and we'll be going after them.
And when you mentioned reset, was that something you spoke about in the autumn in terms of sort of going into a new chapter with the team?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's been some key players who've moved on over the last number of years. There's been some changes in big roles, but there's a lot of similarities and commonalities in how we want to play and in the leaders we have, in the coaches we have. So, yeah, it's always moving forward.
Good stuff. Well, wish you really well. Best of luck in the opening game and throughout the tournament.
Cheers, lads. Appreciate it.
Good stuff.